Hey everyone, I want to give you guys a ghost shrimp update. So a couple of months ago, I put in I think about 10 ghost shrimp in here, and basically I had dug up the pond and it got muddy. I didn't know, basically I didn't know how they were doing. I thought I saw one the other day, but I definitely see one now, and he's basically feeding on a baby fish. Let me see if I can give you guys an update, a close-up. Is right next to that piece of bread. I know we got the reflection of the sun there. So it's to the left of that bread. There he is. Let's see if I can go around this way. There you go. So to the left of that bread is a shrimp there. And he's got what appears to be about half of a fish. No, it's a full baby fish. And he's eating it. So that's interesting. The ghost shrimp are doing pretty good in this pond. Now the question is, are they going to survive through the winter, right? Because this pond is going to freeze up over the winter. Now I've dug it down to about 4 feet. So if they, so below the surface, the lowest the temperature is going to be is about 38 degrees. So it will be interesting to see if we have ghost shrimp next summer. There's some of the other baby fish over there that are swimming. So let me back up a little bit here. Oh, we got a little frog right here. Oh, let me pause the camera and get myself up. Hey, I was thinking a little bit more about the ghost shrimp and the question of if they will survive the winter. Okay, so I think originally I put in, like back in the spring, I put in either 10 or 12 ghost shrimp, and ghost shrimp are supposed to be pretty fast breeders. So I would guess there's maybe 100 to 200 ghost shrimp in here by now, end of August, beginning of September. So this is what I think is going to happen, and we're going to test this out next year. We'll see what's left. I think that most of the ghost shrimp are probably not going to survive the winter, but I think a few will. And the few that do are basically, they're going to survive it because they're more cold tolerant. And next year they're going to breed, and future generations are probably going to be more cold hardy. Okay, so what we're going to end up with here is a breed of ghost shrimp that can survive the winter. Okay, so that's my feeling. Those are my thoughts on that. Because here's the thing, ghost shrimp are basically shrimp. A lot of those type of animals, right? Basically lobster, shrimp type animals, can survive, like crawfish, right? They live in freshwater streams. They can survive the winter in very cold, in very cold water conditions near freezing. Okay, so I don't think it's too much of a stretch for them. So I think most of them are going to die, but a batch of them is going to survive, and then they're going to continue breeding going forward, and we're going to end up with a lot of shrimp in this pond that are basically just they're suited for surviving through the winter in a pond. All right, so let me give you guys a pond update. So the pond has mostly cleared up. Like, it's no longer brown. It's greenish from the algae, and that's fine because the fish are eating, the baby fish are eating the algae. I have not been able to see any of the big fish, right? So the only thing I see, mostly on this end, but also on the other, are baby fish. So they're like hundreds of little baby fish, okay? Goldfish and rosy reds. But I know the parents are there, right? We actually saw them a few weeks ago. They were like kind of sticking around for a couple of days, and then they all went deep. So the goldfish, the big goldfish, and even the adult rosy reds, they're like towards the bottom. So even at the other end, over here, where the end over there goes down to about 4 feet, the one that we were looking at over there. This end here is about a foot. On this end, goes down to about 6 inches at the far end over there. I cannot see any adult goldfish. So that tells me that they're staying at the deep end, closer to the bottom. I can see a whole bunch of babies here. I mean, they're definitely there, because if we're seeing babies, there you go, a bunch of babies there. All right, obviously the adults are obviously laying the eggs, and the babies are coming closer to the top. So what I'm thinking, right, because I was at a pond, at a different pond a few days ago, and that one was like full of goldfish, and they were like near the surface. I think I'm going to go back to that location this coming Friday. I'll post a video of that. But all those fish are like near the top. So I'm trying to figure out why. Why are my fish near the bottom? Why are those goldfish near the top? So this is what I think. In this pond here, I have an aerator, right? I have a solar powered aerator at this far end here. Hold on, let me go back over there and show it to you guys. So you can see it bubbling over here. I got that solar powered aerator. So I think having this solar powered aerator over here, it's a 5-watt aerator, you can see it bubbling there. What I'm thinking is happening at this pond, oh, you can see a baby fish right there. At this pond, since it's like oxygen rich, right, the fish are preferring to go like more towards the bottom, right? It probably keeps them safer from birds. You know, it's probably their natural instinct. But at the other pond that I was at, where it does, that one has no aeration. It was never even intended to be a goldfish pond. It was basically just a rain, you know, place where rainwater would collect. You know, a rain drainage trench, I guess. And so there's no aeration. Just at some point, maybe some 10, 20 years ago, somebody put some goldfish in there, and they've been multiplying over the years and thriving. But those fish all tend to stay near the surface, and I think the reason is because there's no aerator at that pond, so the fish are preferring to go deeper for oxygen. Sorry, they're preferring to stay to the surface, right? Those fish are staying towards the surface because there's no aeration. Whereas here, because I have the aerator, the fish are going deeper towards the bottom. So I'm planning to test this out. I actually was going to do it, but I want to turn off this aerator and see if that brings the fish closer to the surface within a week or two. Okay. The reason why I decided against doing it now is just because I've got so many baby fry, so many baby fish that have hatched in here. And I didn't want to change things up. Apparently, like the big fish being towards the bottom is keeping the small fish at the top safer, I'm thinking. So so given that I got so many baby fish that have hatched over the past month or so, I've decided not to do this. It's probably better to keep the big fish towards the bottom of the pond. But I will test this out at some point. I will turn off this aerator, and I'll see if that brings the fish up to the surface. Okay, so that's today's pond update.